Okay, this is take one of factoring polynomials using the greatest common factor. If you were absent, you're going to have to figure this out. If you were in class, it should be practice. So make sure you put your name and the date on this. As it is a homework, you'll turn it in. So writing a polynomial as a product of factors is called factoring. When the terms of a polynomial have a common factor, you can factor the polynomial as shown below. There are two steps for those of you that like steps. Step one, find the greatest common factor of the terms. Step 2, use the distributive property to write the polynomial as a product of the greatest common factor and its remaining factors. So, what is the greatest common factor of 25a squared and 15a? Well, it's 5a because 5 is the biggest number that goes into both 25 and 15, and a goes into a, and a goes into a squared. So you're going to take another step and you're going to factor, not just find the greatest common factor, but factor the whole thing. So first you find the greatest common factor, which we already did, and the greatest common factor we write here, and then you put a parentheses and a space so that we know what we've got. There's a plus sign, and that plus sign goes in the middle. We pulled out a 5a, so we have to see what's left. So we take the 5a and we put it into the 25a squared. 25 divided by 5 is 5, and a squared divided by a is a. So what's left here is a 5a. And then we take this term and divide it by 5a. 15a divided by 5a, 15 divided by 5 is 3, and the a cancels out, so we got 3. So these are the factors of this polynomial. You want to check your answer, you distribute. You multiply 25a squared. You don't. No, you don't. Kidding. You multiply 5a times 5a and you get 25a squared. And you multiply 5a times 3 and you get 15a. So you know you did it right. So let's factor this one. First step, find the greatest common factor. What's the biggest number that goes into 18 and 12? And what is the exponent when you compare x squared and x cubed? The exponent will be the smallest exponent as long as the variables are the same. So we've got 6x squared. That's our greatest common factor. So now we write it. Well, okay, next we're going to divide each term by the greatest common factor. So now we write it as a pattern. This is our original question, and it equals 6x squared times two things because there's two terms. Notice there's a minus sign. You can't lose your minus sign. So we're going to take this first term and divide it by 6x squared. So 18 divided by 6 is 3, and x squared divided by x squared cancels out, so our answer is 3. And then we're going to take this second term and divide it by 6x squared. And 12 divided by 6 is 2, and x cubed divided by x squared is x. So this is our answer to what is the factorization of this. And you will check your answer by distributing. We're going to multiply the 6x squared times the 3, and that gets us 18x squared, and the 6x squared times the 2x, which will get us 12, and x squared times x is x cubed. So that works. This one looks a little ugly, but is the same rules. Step 1, find the greatest common factor, which 28 goes into both of these, and a, there's a 1 and a 2 here. You take the smaller one, a, and there's a 1 and a 1 there, so it's a b, and there's no c because this thing has no c, so your greatest common factor is 28ab. Then we're going to divide each term, this term and this term, by the greatest common factor. So you set it up by writing your factor equals your greatest common factor times these two terms. And you do it one at a time. You got the 28a squared b divided by 28ab. 28 divided by 28 cancels out. A squared divided by a is a, and the b's cancel out. So all we got left is an a here. And then we'll take this term and divide it by our greatest common factor. So we've got 56abc squared divided by 28ab. 56 divided by 28 is 2. The a's canceled out, the b's cancel out, and the c squared, technically it's divided by 1, is a c squared. So we got 2c squared. We will, of course, check our answer by distributing. 28ab times a, the a to the 1 times the a to the 1 is a squared. We've got 28a squared b. And 28ab times 2c squared is 28 times 2 is 56. A, b, c squared, a, b, c squared. Bang. So that is your answer. And I just rewrote it down here, 28ab times a plus 2c squared. And that is your job, 2-factor. So, on your sheet, I gave you these two, but I gave you the answers also. So I'd like you, now I can't make you, I haven't figured out a spy cam yet, but you should try to do them by yourself and make sure you can get the same answers that are on your sheet. And then you should do these homework problems from your book, page 364, number 1, number 2, and page 366, number 6, and number 8. I hope you have a wonderful day. Oh yeah, there's your answers. And live long and prosper, and I'll see y'all in class sooner or later.